All right, what's up, agents? Afflicted Gamer here, and welcome back to the Division 2. This is a three-in-one video, a build for you to use whether you're a solo player or on a team that you can play in heroic difficulty with quite a bit of ease. Also, could probably try this in Legendary. I'm going to do that next, but I was testing it last night in heroic here in the Summit, and this went better than I could have anticipated. Now, the other thing and reason why we're here at the summit is we have the proficiency event going on right now in the Division 2, but it's going to matter afterwards as well. So we have another 2 days and 8 hours before this goes away. We want to farm printer filament and God roll mods for your builds, sorry, not your bills. So you get the benefit of all three from this video. I'll show you the build in a second here. So while you're farming mods, when you go to select targeted loot, pick the gear system mods, unless you do want attachments for your skills. Now, the only issue with this is you can't pick offensive mods, defensive mods, like, say you wanted protection from elites or critical hit damage, critical hit chance, skill damage. You don't know what you're going to get. So if you do get a God Roll mod, perfect, you keep it and lock it. And then the ones that you don't want, don't need, they're not good, you dismantle them and then you put them towards your expertise and level up your items. And to give you an example of why right now is a perfect time, typically it would take 300 printer filament to take a weapon or gear piece from level 1 to level 10. Right now it only costs 100 printer filament. So there's your two reasons why you want to farm these gear mods. So what build are you going to use? One that I neglected entirely. I like to go with Striker and Heartbreaker damage dealers, but I thought, why not let the skills do the work for me? And I will give you some options to change as well. So we're going to use Refactor. I slept on this completely. So if you're anything like me and you typically go with damage dealing builds, give this one a try. I promise you, you will not regret it. Two pieces will give you plus 15% status effects. Three will give you plus 25% skill damage. That's something we're going to continue to stack over the course of this build. And then four pieces return to sender, receive repairs of 10% of the damage dealt by your skills. Your allies receive repairs of 20% of the damage dealt by your skills. So you're constantly getting healing back too with the damage your skills, or from the damage from your skills. Sorry. So on the mask, I've got skill damage and skill haste. I have the same thing on the chest piece. As you can see, I do need to get that skill haste mod to max. On the chest piece, we also have the talent increased interest. So increase the repairs received from return to sender from 10% to 25%. That's the healing you receive. And then your allies, 20% to 35%. So that's why I say this build works perfectly if you are running solo or in a group. Holster, same thing. We've got skill damage. Now the knee pads do roll with armor on them. You can change that to a core attribute to be a skill tier if you really want to, as long as you have skill damage in the bottom slot. But I figured why not leave myself with a little bit of armor, just a bit of extra help when you get into higher difficulty content. The remaining two pieces are both Hannah U. You can farm for these pretty much anywhere. So with the gloves, skill damage, skill haste, and Hannah U gives you plus 10% skill haste and plus 10% skill damage yet again. Then the backpack, which I think this was sold at the Countdown vendor not that long ago, has perfect combined arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. You proc this thing quite often. And of course, skill damage, skill haste, skill haste. The two skills we're going to use are the assault turret. It's just too good not to. And then same thing with the striker drone. So this way you can literally target your enemies with both of these things. It's perfect. Weapons. We have the capacitor. Shooting enemies builds stacks of a cap up of sorry, a cap to up to 40. Oh my goodness. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage after 5 seconds. Stacks decay 1 per second for each skill tier. Gain 7.5% weapon damage. So you're getting a little bit of both with that. The second one is the Harmony rifle. Now, you don't have to use this. People are going to say it's a DZ exclusive, but hear me out. I did. Head on over to projects. The weekly SHD requisition project, which will give you an exotic cache, a named item cache, and a field proficiency cache. I got the gun out of the named item cache. So, and the reason I chose to pick this is for the talent and so I can shoot from a distance, keeping myself rather safe. The perfectly in sync talent on it is also one of the other main reasons for the weapon. Hitting an enemy grants plus 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. So you can see through all the different pieces we're stacking more skill damage, which is more healing, more survivability, and again, you're letting the skills do the work for you. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants plus 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. If you do not have that weapon, you can choose to use the test subject named assault rifle, which is fantastic. It also has perfectly in sync on that. If you don't have this, you can farm for it in Countdown or the Summit. Countdown, you can use your Countdown credits to buy the named item caches and gamble with that, but I think farming targeted loot would probably your best option. And same thing with the Handy backpack if you need it. Sidearm, we have the quick step to get myself out of sticky situations. If you don't have it, you can use the Maxim 9 that comes with the specialization. It has perfect spike on it. Headshots grant plus 25% skill damage for 15 seconds. So, and it's not headshot kills, just headshots. So, this is pretty nice. You could find a secondary weapon with this on it as well, I believe. So, there's another option for you if you don't have the two that I have. Then the third option is the TDI card custom. It does have a skill tier on it. The skill tier only counts and procs when you have this equipped and you're using the weapon. So if you do put Pistolero on for as a modifier, for example, then this would be useful. Now, the last two things, when it comes to the specialization, we're using the technician. Make sure when you're looking at the skill tree to spec into assault rifle damage to get the extra assault rifle damage. Same thing with the rifle or whatever secondary weapon it is you're using. And if you're going to go with Pistolero as a mod, definitely spec into sidearms. Now, for those of you that are going to ask about this here, what am I using for the modifiers? Nothing crazy whatsoever. I put on the blackout pulse. I mean, I could do this without any of this stuff here. I only put on the basic amplify offense, amplify defense, amplify utility. I didn't go into anything crazy. These are all just the starter ones so that way you're not really that reliant on them. So, but yeah, there you have it. There's the build. I cannot believe I didn't try this sooner. Now I'm going to show you some gameplay against these two rogue agents that attacked me last night, and you might hear me repeat the same thing at the end about why you should use the build and why it's the perfect time to farm right now, because I wasn't sure last night if I should make this or not, but after doing that and then a boss level, I was like, oh, yeah, this definitely works. And on the off chance you haven't tried it, like myself, definitely give it a go. But that's it. If you could be so kind as to drop a like on the video, it is much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, I hope that you'll consider subscribing for more Division 2 content. Hopefully Resurgence if I can get it working with an emulator. I already made a separate video on that, so watch it if you wish. Links for Twitter, Discord, all the good stuff are down in the description, and I will see you agents in the next video. And you'll hear my live commentary in the second part, which was from the previous night here while I was testing the build. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and hopefully the gameplay against these two rogue agents on Heroic do speak for themselves. Okay, I decided that instead of showing you a fight against just two rogue agents, I'll show you a boss fight. I can't see a single thing in here. Again, this is on Heroic. I am going to push this and try Legendary at some point, but at the bare minimum, I know a lot of people, they're quite comfortable with challenging. It's not too hard, it's not too stressful or anything like that. But I wanted to finally start to push my own limits and try things that, well, I haven't tried before. Skill builds. In the Division 1, I love Tactician's Authority. In the Division 2, I don't know. I just never got into skill builds for whatever reason. So here we go. Oh, I thought that was my drone for a second. Well, as you can see, my skills are giving me my healing. I don't know if they're going to push me or not. Maybe what I'll do, while my drone is up there, we'll pick this up. I have a few seconds of cooldown. Let's help out my drone.
High risk target detected.
Here we go. Okay, well, there's the boss. He's dead. Now I'd like to get some maxed out skill haste mods for this build, and then some max out crit hit chance and damage mods for my other builds. Actually, even some damage to elites. Those things are like unicorns. There we go. Oh, hey, we got more. The survivability from this build blows my mind. I'm not even joking. The fact that a skill build is sitting here, have armor on my knee pads only, and literally, like I said at the beginning of the video, my skills are doing all of the work for me. I'm shooting my gun a little bit, but also by shooting my weapon, I'm making my skills stronger. I hate those drones right there. I could change the scope as well on the weapon. Somebody hiding? Oh, there we go. But yeah, I thought fighting more enemies than just... Well, I mean, the rogue agents were no joke. I was kind of concerned, you know, okay, are they gonna hack my skills? Because they can. That would have sucked. And I'll throw this back up. And there you have it. I barely had to do anything. That's a boss floor. Heroic in the summit. 2 modifiers on. Got less ammo and fog of war. You could make it more difficult if you want. You could take them off if you want the modifiers. The choice is totally up to you. But yeah, like I said at what was supposed to be the initial end of the video, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on the build in the comments section. And also, please remember one thing. Videos like this, build videos, they are just templates. I've said this since the Division 1. They're just templates. So if there's something you don't like or there's something that you would prefer to be different and change, by all means, go ahead and do that. These are just suggestions to try to help people. So as you can see, I'm playing solo. I'm not having any trouble whatsoever. Do we get it in good mods? 10.3? No. 8.9? No. Okay, so that's fine. We dismantled them and they still have another use. If they were God roll mods, then we would have kept them and yet again would have had another use. On top of that, you will get other pieces of gear and here, break them down. Oh, action printer filament, break this down. And look at that, we get some carbon fiber, electronics, titanium. So even with the other stuff that you get that you don't need, you can still put them to use, or you never know, you might get a gear piece that's good as well. All right. Okay, I don't want to drag out the video any longer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it was helpful. You know what to do. Like, comment, sub, links are in the description. Thanks for watching. Happy farming, agents, and I will see you all in the next video.